When we talk about Bletchley Park, we remember Alan Turing, Gordon Welchman, Tommy Flowers, male geniuses whose names entered history. But here's what few know. In 1945, nearly 10,000 people worked at Bletchley Park. 75% of them were women. Most weren't even 24 years old. They broke codes considered unbreakable. They saved thousands of lives. They won battles. And then they were asked to be silent. 60 years of silence. 60 years when heroines told their families they just typed papers or served tea. Today we tell their real stories. With names. With facts. With the glory they deserved. Joan Elizabeth Lowther Clarke was born on June 24, 1917, a mathematical genius from Cambridge. She came to Bletchley Park in June 1940. She was only 23. She was assigned to Hut 8, where Alan Turing worked on breaking Naval Enigma, the most complex version of the German cipher. But here's the paradox. Joan was the only female cryptanalyst among men, not because others weren't smart enough, but because women simply weren't given this position. Joan was officially listed as a linguist, though she did the same work as male cryptanalysts. For £2 a week, men were paid 3 times more. Colleagues remembered her as one of Bletchley's best cryptanalysts. She worked with Turing's business method, analyzed intercepted messages, searched for patterns in chaos of letters and numbers. In 1944, Joan became deputy head of Hut 8, the highest position a woman could hold at Bletchley Park. Her work helped break Naval Enigma, which meant saving thousands of ships in the Battle of the Atlantic. But after the war, her contribution was forgotten. Only in 1946 was she awarded the Order of the British Empire, without explanation, as her work remained secret for another 30 years. Joan Clarke died in 1996. For most of her life, the world didn't know she was one of those who won the war. Mavis Lever was 19 when she came to Bletchley Park in 1940, a University College London student studying French and German. She was greeted by legendary cryptographer D. Knox with words that changed her life. "Hello. We're breaking machines. Have you got a pencil? Here. Have a go." And she tried. And she was a genius. In March 1941, just months into the job, Mavis decrypted an Italian Enigma message. "Today's the day -3. The team worked 3 days without sleep, deciphering subsequent messages. They uncovered Italian fleet plans to attack a British convoy. Thanks to Mavis, the British fleet set an ambush. The Battle of Matapan became one of the Royal Navy's greatest victories. 3 Italian cruisers and 2 destroyers destroyed, over 2,000 Italian sailors killed. British losses, 3 men. D. Knox said, "The battle was won by the grace of God and Mavis." But Mavis didn't stop there. In December 1941, aged just 20, she achieved the impossible. Broke the German Abwehr Enigma machine. 4 rotors instead of 3, completely random rotation. Even cryptographers from the famous Hut 6 couldn't break it. Mavis could. Together with colleague Margaret Rock, they gave the Allies the ability to read German intelligence messages. This directly influenced the success of the Normandy landings in 1944. D. Knox, dying of cancer in 1943, said of Mavis and Margaret, "Give me a lever and a rock, and I will move the universe." A reference to their names, Lever and Rock. Historian Michael Smith said, "Mavis wasn't simply a great female codebreaker. She was one of the greatest codebreakers, full stop." In 2024, 80 years after the war, researchers from Newnham College, Cambridge University made a discovery. They identified 77 former students who worked at Bletchley Park. 77 names, hidden by decades of silence. They were recruited secretly, through personal connections, through acquaintances, through recommendations. Mathematicians, linguists, historians, classicists, musicians, women who could see patterns where others saw chaos. They were educated at the best universities, but after graduation were told, forget about careers. Get married, have children. The war changed everything. Suddenly their talents were needed. Colonel Strachey, principal of Newnham College, whose brother worked as a cryptanalyst, began a secret recruitment campaign. Ray Strachey, her sister-in-law, headed the Women's Employment Federation and in 1939 compiled a secret register of women with special skills. They brought dozens of women to Bletchley. Dr. Wall recalled meeting Jane Monroe, a Newnham graduate. Jane modestly said that during the war she made tea at Bletchley. Only years later was it discovered. Jane Monroe worked as a cryptanalyst in Hut 6, one of the most secret departments. This was typical. Women minimized their contribution, hid behind modesty, retreated into shadow. Not all women worked at Bletchley Park itself. Patricia Davies, née Outram, at 18 became a special duties linguist in Y Service, the secret radio interception service. Her first post was at Withensea, Yorkshire, on the North Sea coast. The work was exhausting, sitting 4 hours in headphones, catching German radio transmissions, recording every word. As soon as a German ship came up, you wrote down exactly what you heard, Patricia recalled. Codes, coordinates, orders, everything went to Bletchley for decryption. Without these intercepts, cryptanalysts would have no material to work with. Patricia moved between 3 coastal posts, the last, Abbott's Cliff in Kent, opposite occupied France. She is now 95 and a tireless champion of secret war memory. Lectures, theatre tours, television appearances. She uses any means to tell about women who were on the front line of information warfare. Imagine, you won the war. You saved thousands of lives. You did the impossible. And then the government says, not a word to anyone. 30 years, 50 years, forever. Bletchley women returned home to questions. What did you do during the war? They couldn't answer. They told children. I typed documents. Husbands. I worked as a secretary. Even to loved ones. Lies or half-truths. The Official Secrets Act made no exceptions for heroes. Many took the secrets to their graves. Their families learned the truth only after death, finding medals without explanations, letters with cryptic mentions. Some children discovered their modest mother, who just served tea, was actually one of the greatest cryptanalysts of the 20th century. And even when information was declassified in the 1970s, society wasn't quick to recognize their contribution. Books were written about Turing, films made about men, women were mentioned in passing. And of course, there were women assistants. Assistants. They weren't assistants, they were heroines. Today Bletchley Park is a museum. On the walls, names: Joan Clarke, Mavis Batey, Margaret Rock, 77 women from Cambridge, thousands of others whose names we're only beginning to learn. They prove genius has no gender, that women can break codes as brilliantly as men, that wars are won not only on battlefields, but also at desks with pencils and cryptograms. Their story is a reminder. How many more talents were lost because society didn't give women a chance? How many potential Joan Clarkes remained housewives? How many Mavis Bateys couldn't realize their genius? Subscribe to learn more about heroes history forgot. In the next episode, Operation Fortitude. How the Allies deceived Hitler before D-Day.